The quiet house was the least, and in some ways the worst, house I have lived in. So, this is some time after that house from hell. I'm 19 at the time. I hadn't lived in my parents' house for 3 years by then. I just came to visit for a few days to a week at a time. In this particular house, they lived with a guy called Josh. I'm only giving his name because I can't remember his last name, and I can't dox a man who isn't alive. He was a bit mentally disturbed, but not unstable. There was something strange about this house. Somehow, when a fan was on, or my younger siblings were playing, or whatever, the house was always dead quiet. Don't get me wrong, I liked the quiet, but it was unnaturally quiet. The first time I came, I was obviously already in for the ish. Right when I got there, winter time, my brother Art said, "This house is haunted with something." So I was like, okay. What is going on then? He and B, another brother from my last story, told me that there's always knocking in the walls of our room. The bedroom door is open when they turn their backs, when they wake up, when no one is home but Josh. They filled me in on Josh, his knife-sharpening habits and weird but friendly antics, and yes, I witnessed it in the short time I was there. The cupboard was huge, so I decided to sleep in it. I got my setup ready, and boom. Door opens. There it goes. It locks well, but it never stays closed. I saw it open itself twice while I was there. They also said that when you're in the basement, it feels like someone is watching you from outside the basement window. It is also quite cold down there, but I could have put that down to the winter cold. I heard people coming up the stairs quite often. I moved upstairs to sleep because I was tired of something opening the door to the room downstairs. I heard creaking on those stairs more days than I actually stayed in that house, well over 20 times. One night I was lying down with the lights on and it was as if I didn't fall asleep and the lights just went out. I had sleep paralysis. I vividly remember not closing my eyes when the transition from the light room to the dark room happened, and it seemed as if the dark room had a different layout. I couldn't move and the silence was deafening, until a rumbling sound slowly grew louder. In my sleep paralysis nightmare, something was standing near the door. It felt like it was getting closer as the rumbling got louder. Then, just like when I fell asleep, the lights suddenly came back on. If you know how I sleep, you'll know that I don't just wake up with bloodshot eyes. I'm always groggy and take a while to wake up. This time it was just a dead-eyed look at the bright window from the midday sun. So I went for a walk. The last thing that happened to me was that I was walking down the basement stairs and a cat just ran up the stairs. It was a real cat. My parents told me to get the stray cat out because it was getting in a lot. So I put it outside and when I looked back I saw a black blur running down the basement stairs. I said, "Yeah, I'm fine. No basement for me." Josh seemed less sociable as I left. My parents said he sat on the couch before they left and said he'd miss everyone being there. Josh once shot up H, using his own urine to shoot up. He said he didn't like being there alone and even tried to pay my dad to stay, but they didn't want to be there either. I felt bad for him then, and really bad when he died. He died not even a few weeks later. May Josh rest in peace. He was a good man, just misunderstood. He knew as well as we did that the house was bad, but he had the worst of it. He shot up with his own pee, but he survived for a long time. The house must have got to him too. He was more than afraid to be there alone.